I love those hockey moms. You know, they say the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? Lipstick.
Sarah Palin, the former governor of Alaska and 2008 Republican vice presidential nominee, has always been a figure who commands attention, both for her political career and her larger-than-life personality. Now, at age 60, Palin continues to surprise audiences with a series of bold photos. In this collection, she proves that age is just a number, showcasing a confident, fearless side that has always been part of her public persona. Whether you're a long-time follower or a new observer, these pictures are sure to make a lasting impression. In recent years, Sarah Palin has confidently embraced a style that emphasizes both her fashion sense and personal confidence. Through a variety of photos shared on social media and in the public eye, she has become known for wearing outfits that highlight her figure and showcase her evolving sense of style. Whether she's donning a chic dress, posing in swimwear, or simply enjoying a casual day out, each of these images tells a story of self-assurance, empowerment, and unapologetic self-love. Sarah's approach to fashion isn't just about clothing, it's about expressing who she is and embracing her body and identity, regardless of societal expectations. One of the most striking elements of Sarah's recent photos is her ability to wear fashionable outfits that flatter her shape while remaining stylish and timeless. She selects pieces that accentuate her figure in a way that feels natural and effortless. Whether it's a tailored dress with a flattering cut, a sleek jumpsuit, or more relaxed attire, her wardrobe choices reflect her personality, confident, bold, and unafraid to take risks. These photos highlight how clothing can become a powerful form of self-expression, a reflection of one's mood, and an opportunity to break free from the confines of age-related expectations. Sarah's decision to wear swimsuits and other revealing attire has also sparked attention, especially as many women, particularly those over the age of 50, are often told that they should cover up or tone down their appearance. But Sarah challenges this notion entirely. Instead of conforming to a dated perception of what is deemed appropriate for women of her age, she celebrates her body and confidently shows it off. Her pictures suggest a deep level of comfort and pride in her own skin, demonstrating that beauty is not tied to age, but rather to how one feels about themselves. Her unapologetic attitude serves as a testament to the idea that self-worth is independent of societal pressures. This bold approach to aging with grace and self-assurance has resonated with many of Sarah's followers and admirers. Her fans often share how inspired they are by her ability to defy societal expectations and her commitment to showing that beauty has no expiration date. They find strength in her example, realizing that they too can confidently embrace their own aging process without feeling the pressure to conform to rigid ideals of beauty or behavior. Sarah's presence in the public eye has become more than just about fashion. It's about shifting cultural perspectives and empowering women to accept themselves as they are, regardless of age. Sarah Louise Palin is a multifaceted American figure known for her roles as a politician, commentator, author, and reality television personality. She first gained national prominence as the governor of Alaska and as the Republican vice presidential nominee in the 2008 U.S. election. Palin's career spans a wide range of roles in both public service and media, and her story is one marked by achievements, controversies, and a deep connection to her Alaskan roots. Palin's early years were spent in a family that valued hard work and independence, qualities that would become central to her later career. She moved to Alaska with her family as a young child, where she would eventually carve out her own path in the world of politics. Palin's political journey began in the early 1990s when she was elected to the Wasilla City Council in 1992. Wasilla, a small town in Alaska, provided the backdrop for Palin's first taste of political leadership, setting the stage for her rise in Alaska's political scene. In 1996, Palin became the mayor of Wasilla, a role that further established her reputation as a determined and ambitious leader. As mayor, she worked to implement changes to the town's infrastructure and sought to reduce spending. However, her time as mayor was not without controversy. Her decisions and leadership style, while effective in some respects, led to clashes with members of the city council, a preview of the combative political style that would become characteristic of Palin in the years to come. Nevertheless, her political acumen and ambition did not go unnoticed, and by 2003 she was appointed chair of the Alaska Oil and Gas Conservation Commission, AOGCC. In the AOGCC role, Palin was responsible for overseeing the safety and efficiency of Alaska's oil and gas fields, an important position given the state's reliance on these industries. Despite her success in this position, her tenure was marred by scandal. Palin resigned from the AOGCC in 2004 after accusing fellow Republicans of unethical behavior, particularly in relation to oil and gas dealings. This bold stand against corruption bolstered her image as a politician willing to take on the establishment, a theme that would continue throughout her career. In 2006, at the age of 42, Palin made history by becoming the youngest person and the first woman to be elected governor of Alaska. Her campaign was built on promises of reform, fiscal responsibility, and a commitment to address the challenges of Alaska's economy. During her time as governor, Palin gained national attention for her efforts to reform state government, her advocacy for resource development, and her attempts to balance the state's budget. Her political style was direct and populist, connecting with voters who were frustrated with the traditional political establishment. Palin's tenure as governor, however, was marked by legal and ethical challenges. Her administration faced multiple ethics investigations, some of which were seen as politically motivated. The legal fees associated with these investigations became a significant burden, both for Palin personally and for the state of Alaska. These legal battles, combined with growing criticism from within the state's political establishment, led Palin to announce her resignation as governor in July 2009, just over 2 years into her term. The resignation shocked many, and while Palin defended the decision as a way to move past the distractions of constant legal challenges, critics argued that she had abandoned her responsibilities. Sarah Palin's nomination as John McCain's vice presidential running mate in 2008 was a historic moment in American politics. Not only did it mark her emergence as a national political figure, but it also made her the first Republican woman to be nominated for vice president and the second female vice presidential nominee of a major political party, following Geraldine Ferraro's 1984 Democratic nomination. This nomination catapulted Palin into the spotlight, making her one of the most talked-about political figures in the country. The 2008 Republican National Convention was a pivotal event, as McCain's decision to choose Palin was met with a mix of surprise, excitement, and skepticism. Palin, then serving as the governor of Alaska, was relatively unknown to the national audience. Her background as a small-town mayor and a first-term governor was in sharp contrast to McCain's long career in the Senate, leading some to question her qualifications for such a high-profile position. Nevertheless, McCain's selection of Palin was meant to invigorate his campaign by appealing to women, particularly disaffected Hillary Clinton supporters, and energizing the conservative base with a fresh face. Palin's nomination was groundbreaking in several ways. Not only was she the first Republican woman on a major party ticket, but her selection also brought attention to her background as an outsider in the political establishment. As governor of Alaska, Palin had championed a platform of reform, advocating for government transparency, fiscal responsibility, and energy independence. Her conservative values and populist appeal resonated strongly with the Republican base, and many saw her as a symbol of a new, more dynamic conservative movement. Her relatability, charismatic presence, and direct communication style set her apart from many of her contemporaries. However, her candidacy also drew intense media scrutiny. Palin's inexperience on the national stage, combined with her unpolished political demeanor, became focal points of the media's coverage. Her interviews, particularly a series with CBS News' Katie Couric, were criticized for revealing gaps in her knowledge of foreign policy and other critical issues. One of the most memorable moments from these interviews was her inability to name specific newspapers or publications she regularly read, raising questions about her preparedness for the role of vice president. The media's scrutiny of her performance contributed to the public's perception of her as unqualified for such a high office, and the McCain campaign struggled to defend her position. Despite these challenges, Palin became an icon for many within the Republican Party. She energized the party's conservative base, particularly evangelical Christians, and her populist style attracted a large following. Palin's speeches at rallies were often marked by her fiery rhetoric, direct attacks on the media, and a defiant tone that endeared her to many supporters. She was seen as a champion of traditional values, a staunch advocate for gun rights, and a defender of American exceptionalism. Her speeches often contrasted her down-to-earth image as a mother and politician with the more polished establishment persona of her running mate, John McCain. This contrast between Palin's outsider status and McCain's seasoned political experience became a central theme in the race. While Palin's appeal to the conservative base was undeniable, her presence on the ticket also exposed divisions within the Republican Party. Some party elites were concerned about her lack of experience and perceived vulnerability, while others felt that her candidacy was a political gamble. Her sharp rhetoric and unapologetic style sometimes alienated moderate voters, making it difficult for McCain to bridge the gap with centrist Democrats. The media, too, played a significant role in shaping the narrative around her, often focusing on her personal life, including her family and her teenage daughter's pregnancy, rather than her policy positions. Despite the criticisms and challenges, Palin's place on the 2008 ticket marked a significant turning point in American political history. Even though the McCain-Palin ticket ultimately lost to the Democratic Party's Barack Obama and Joe Biden, Palin's national profile skyrocketed in the aftermath of the election. While McCain's presidential campaign failed to secure a victory, Palin's visibility and popularity among conservatives only grew. In the years following the election, she became a key figure in the Republican Party and a prominent voice in American political discourse. Since resigning as governor of Alaska in 2009, Sarah Palin has remained a prominent figure in American politics, media, and pop culture. Her post-gubernatorial career has been defined by her advocacy for the fiscally conservative Tea Party movement, her active support for various political candidates, her role as a television personality, and her best-selling memoir, Going Rogue. These ventures not only allowed her to maintain a public profile, but also further solidified her influence within the conservative movement. Palin's political activism after her resignation was deeply intertwined with the rise of the Tea Party, a grassroots movement that emerged in response to concerns about federal spending, taxes, and government overreach. The Tea Party, which gained momentum during President Barack Obama's first term, aligned closely with Palin's personal political beliefs, particularly her staunch conservatism and her focus on limiting government intervention in the economy. As an influential figure within the movement, Palin became an advocate for its principles of fiscal responsibility, smaller government, and a return to what she and her supporters saw as traditional American values. She appeared at Tea Party rallies, making speeches that resonated with conservative voters, and she became an important voice in advocating for the movement's priorities. In addition to her advocacy, Palin also became a key political endorser, lending her support to several candidates over the years. One of her most significant endorsements came during the 2016 presidential campaign when she publicly backed Donald Trump, who was seeking the Republican nomination. Although Trump was a controversial figure within some parts of the Republican establishment, Palin's endorsement was a major boost to his campaign, especially among his conservative and populist supporters. The endorsement was a natural extension of Palin's political trajectory. Her populist rhetoric, outsider status, and disdain for the political establishment resonated with Trump's supporters, and vice versa. This endorsement not only underscored Palin's continued influence within the conservative movement, but also highlighted her capacity to shape the direction of Republican politics. Palin's endorsement of Trump was just one in a series of political endorsements that she made over the years. She has supported candidates for local, state, and national offices, often focusing on individuals who share her fiscally conservative, anti-establishment views. Her support has played a significant role in elevating certain candidates within the Republican Party, and her influence remains evident in the party's continued shift toward populism and conservatism. Alongside her political engagement, Palin's career as a television personality also flourished. In 2010, she became a regular contributor for Fox News, providing political commentary and analysis until 2015. Her role at Fox allowed her to stay in the public eye and continue influencing political discourse from a conservative perspective. Her appearances on the network were marked by her straightforward, sometimes combative style, and her willingness to engage in debates on issues ranging from foreign policy to domestic affairs. Palin's commentary often reflected her populist sensibilities, which resonated with Fox's conservative audience. This period of political commentary not only kept Palin relevant in the political arena, but also helped solidify her brand as a leading voice in the Republican Party. In addition to her work as a commentator, Palin also ventured into reality television, bringing her brand of conservatism and personal charisma to a broader audience. From 2010 to 2011, she starred in the TLC reality series Sarah Palin's Alaska. The show provided viewers with a behind-the-scenes look at her life in Alaska, showcasing her family, her outdoor adventures, and her love for the state she governed. Although the show received mixed reviews from critics, it was a ratings success and introduced Palin to a wider audience outside the political sphere. The show was seen as an extension of her folksy, down-to-earth persona, and it helped to humanize her image, allowing fans to see her in a more personal light. In 2014, Palin began hosting another television show, Amazing America with Sarah Palin, on the Sportsman Channel. This show focused on celebrating American values and outdoor activities, such as hunting and fishing, and was in keeping with Palin's own interests and public persona as an avid outdoors woman. Like Sarah Palin's Alaska, the show offered viewers a glimpse into her life, but it also catered to a different audience by highlighting themes of patriotism, self-reliance, and rural American life. Though Amazing America was not as successful as its predecessor, it solidified Palin's place in the world of reality television and allowed her to continue connecting with audiences who shared her values. Palin also briefly entered the world of online media with the launch of the Sarah Palin Channel in 2014. This subscription-based online TV service, hosted on TPP-TV, was designed to give Palin a direct platform to communicate with her supporters without the filter of traditional media. The channel featured political commentary, interviews, and personal insights from Palin herself. However, the Sarah Palin Channel struggled to attract a large audience and was short-lived, closing in 2015. Despite its brief existence, the channel marked a bold attempt by Palin to harness the growing influence of digital media and reach her supporters in a more intimate, unfiltered way. In 2022, Sarah Palin made another attempt to return to elected office when she ran in the special election for Alaska's at-large congressional seat, a position that had been vacated following the death of long-serving Republican Representative Don Young. Palin's entry into the race attracted significant attention as she sought to represent the state in the U.S. House of Representatives, a role that would mark her return to public office after resigning as governor of Alaska in 2009. Palin's candidacy in the special election was heavily influenced by her history as a former governor of Alaska and her continued prominence within the Republican Party. She faced a crowded field of candidates, including several notable Republicans and Democrats. Among her opponents was Mary Peltola, a Democrat and former state legislator, who was widely seen as a formidable contender. The special election was conducted under a new system of ranked choice voting, which allowed voters to rank candidates in order of preference, rather than choosing a single candidate. This system would play a pivotal role in determining the outcome of the election. In the special election, Palin and Peltola emerged as the top two candidates, with Peltola securing the majority of first-choice votes. Despite Palin's strong name recognition and her previous experience as the governor of Alaska, Peltola's grassroots campaign and moderate appeal resonated with a broad spectrum of voters. In the final round of ranked choice voting, where second and third choice votes are redistributed, Peltola managed to secure a decisive victory. She won the special election by a relatively narrow margin, becoming the first Democrat to represent Alaska in Congress since the 1970s, and completing Don Young's unfinished term. Although the loss in the special election was a setback for Palin, it did not mark the end of her political ambitions. In fact, her defeat motivated her to run again in the November general election, this time seeking a full 2-year term in the same congressional seat. Palin's bid in the general election saw her facing Peltola once again, along with a number of other candidates, including Republicans, who sought to claim the seat in the newly revamped, ranked choice voting system. Palin and Peltola's rematch became a focal point of the election, with Palin's supporters hoping for a different outcome this time. What do you think about Sarah Palin? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.